homies, it's Alex from Formidable Felons, and I am just making a little video today because it was recently my 10-year anniversary, actually yesterday, of the incident of when I took matters into my own hands and when I decided to actually stand up for myself in my abusive relationship to my abuser. If you know my story in my previous interview that I had with my friend, it's one of my first stories. I probably need to redo it because there's a lot more that I could tack in there that needed to be said. Um, I stabbed my ex boyfriend after the night before he left me with two black eyes. Like in my mugshot, there's one prominent one, and then the next days following, the other one ended up developing while I was in jail. Um, it was a whole crazy day, an evening before, and I don't ever want to be placed in a position where I have to not be myself and get me to a point where I act in a way that's not the way I was raised, that's against my values and animalistic in a sense because I had to follow my instinct and defend myself. And so it's been 10 years since I stabbed my ex boyfriend. And, don't know what he's doing. Hope he's doing well. Um, what I spent my 10-year anniversary doing was reliving every moment of that trauma because I'm currently a registered behavioral technician with the Autism Partnership Foundation, and it's a whole entire behavioral health and behavioral modification exam credentials you have to go through and everything. I took it about 4 months ago, and I was about to get an internship as an RBT. I studied everything, took the exam, and I passed. And they don't tell you what percentage you get when you do the RBT exam. But I did get denied for the background check, and for some reason they had my old address on file from when the last time I got a background check, even though I gave them my updated driver's license. So when I called to figure out what was going on with that, actually, that's not even how it happened. Um, they called and the company that I was going to intern with, they called and wanted to make sure everything was all right and see when I could get started and everything. They said that the other lady that used to work there had left. She was in charge of my background check, and I asked the HR lady that I was speaking to if she could check it for me. And of course, she checked and it showed that I failed the background check. So I had to call, figure out why I failed. They updated my address. Um, and the reason why I failed is because the position that RBTs do in there, have there, it is with provided through Medicaid. So to become pretty much an in-home health aide for children with autism, and the families that use it use Medicaid. So I have to be approved by Medicaid in order to provide those services. So I have a gigantic list of things that I had to get done in it ended up being 14 days instead of 30 because they had the wrong address in order for me to file this appeal of why they denied me. It was every court document. I have 77 pages or 73 pages. Every court document that I could, the court dispositions, the arrests, statements of every single one, and sanctions. I had to prove that I know all my court costs are paid off, but they said that it still showed sanctions. So I had to, on my day off, go down to the courthouse, go to the misdemeanor division, go to the felony division, go handle all 7 of my cases or 8 of my cases, and try and figure out that all spanned while I was with him, by the way. The only one case that didn't was when I got out and I got a ticket for weed in 2017. But I had to write down all these things, get all this paperwork, and at the courthouse, it was I had to pay for like $30 for the certification. Thank God I didn't have to pay any money to get it done. Sorry, I didn't owe any money like I knew. So I had to get all this paperwork. I was there about 4 hours trying to make sure I had everything that I needed. And then I spent hours online trying to look and print up any other additional documentation. And they wanted me to explain every single case, but every single case was so tied into each other. I My first case was when I was with him, and I I went to go leave him, stayed at a friend's house. He followed me to her house. Rest in peace, Alex. And then I went to Walmart because he had went over to her house. I didn't want her in danger, and I stole milk in a bra. Don't know why I stole the bra, but I love milk. And ended up getting arrested because I didn't have my ID on me because I just ran away with none of my shit. And so I got arrested that time and was put on probation. And then I ended up violating the probation, I believe, with the felony charge. There's During the felony charge, when I went over to the halfway house and then ended up getting raped at the halfway house. So then I ended up going back to my grandma's and I relapsed and didn't get any treatment for that. So everything was just all Coraline, and I had to relive every moment of our whole entire year relationship because I was trying to get all of that paperwork together. And my coworker said it goes to show you how much a relationship can just throw a wrench in your life. It's absolutely true. I'm grateful that I am where I am now, and now that I have the appeal process going, it's I'm not the same person that I was 10 years ago, and I will never let anyone get me to that place. So that whole day was spent trying to figure all of that out and trying to get all of that paperwork done, sent on over. I gotta wait 10 days to check and see if it's all correct. If it's incorrect, they don't send you any correspondence, and then you have to wait until your application period is over, and then you can reapply again. So I'm all certified, ready to help people, to provide care to individuals that need it. I'm a passionate person, and I'm just sitting here waiting because of things that happened 10 years ago. And I hope the people that read it at the background screening agency really take a hard look and read my statements and take into consideration the amount of effort I've taken to rehabilitate myself. I mentioned formidable felons. I have to make another video because I recently got one of I got a formidable felon a job at Waste Management. They've reached out through formidable felons. This is my first pro bono case, my first customer client, period. I'm trying really, really hard to make a change in the community and in society, and I really hope that gets realized because if not, it's going to be a shame. I can definitely go other ways with the direction of what I want to do, but I was under the impression that I could pass a level 2 background check anyway. I mean, it's you live and you learn. It's so hard to know what you can and what you can't do until you try. So many things are case by case now. So many people will take on interns and hire felons. You just have to explain to them. And this is schools. This is this is colleges, and this is workplaces, trades, anything. It's so possible. You just have to try. 10 years ago, I can't even imagine, like, even thinking about what I'm thinking about now, and thinking about college and being in a position where I have the ability and I've done everything to justify my case. Like, I don't have to pay anything. I can gather all the paperwork. All I have to do is show it to somebody else. Oh yeah, the other half of the paperwork was just a whole bunch of rehabilitation. I gave them all of it. Every class I've taken, my associate's degree and my bachelor's degree, I've given them all the trainings I've taken at work, all the trainings I've taken through Florida Behavioral Certification. I believe that's the wrong website. I've sent them my resume, my school resume, where I've done volunteer work, president of the psychology club, club member of the year. I've sent them everything that I can to make sure that they know. Like, if you took half of my paperwork and you blotted out all the names, you put it over there, and you put the other half over here, you wouldn't see that there was any mix of the two people. There's no way you'd be like, there's no way that these two are related. It's so crazy how such your intentions when you think you're doing well and you feel like you are trying to care for someone can backfire so hard. And it took until the end of my prison sentence when I was in confinement by myself. My grandma got me the book Science of the Mind, and I took a lot of time to be introspective and analyze myself and what I want to do and what my standards are. And I taught myself how to love myself, and I won't let that go. And that's been able to keep me grounded. And, I have to try and talk about prison less, but it's just so much a part of what I do and who I am. And when it's constantly brought back in my life 10 years later, I don't know how you want me to be quiet about it. It's so difficult to put it behind me in my past when that's all I've been trying to do. And it's just getting thrown in my face. It's difficult. And everyone's gonna say, no, you could always pick a different profession. You could do whatever you want. Yeah, if I did cosmetology like I was doing in prison, I really wouldn't have to concentrate on it that much. But I want to help people. I want to, not that cosmetologists don't. I want to help people with disabilities and people that need more physical, emotional, and mental care than people, just people that need more care. Period. I'm trying not to say the wrong thing. But I just want to help people in general. And I think that if you have a situation where you're like me and you want to speak on your experience, share your experience, or let your experience motivate you and not talk about it at all, then it's absolutely your right and you should 100% do so because it doesn't have to stop you from being where you want to be or who you want to be. There's going to be a whole bunch of methods that do try to stop you, but it doesn't have to. And I'm just here to say that I'm not going to keep, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep trying. And for anyone else that's going down the same path, I hope you do too. Happy 10-year anniversary to the woman I have now become. Thank you. All right. Peace out. Shalom, yummies.